Kelsey The Athletic. JB, to first start off, obviously winning tonight. What do you see about the response from your guys from game 1 to game 2?
I mean, this is what we talked about pregame, right? We asked how our guys would respond to a little bit of adversity. We talked about what they've done all year long. All year long is they've learned lessons the hard way sometimes, but the next time they stepped on the floor, they figured it out. And again, it's a credit to them. What they did defensively tonight was phenomenal. The way they competed on that end of the floor, the way they scrapped every possession. That's a phenomenal effort by our group.
And for Darius, obviously, to come out too after having some struggles in game 1, what impressed you the most about his response?
Just that. I mean, he knew what we needed, and he knew how important this game was. And, he went out and did what he had to do and was aggressive, was assertive, put a ton of pressure on them. They had to make some tough decisions out there, and he's got to continue to do that for us.
Ashley Bastock, Cleveland.com. JB, just the job that Caris did tonight, was that a matter of Isaac gets in the foul trouble and then Caris is playing so well you kind of have to stick with him there?
Yeah, I mean, it's, about making sure the units on the floor, work well together. And when you had it going like they had it going, it was difficult to change it. So, Caris has always been that guy for us to just do whatever we needed him to do. And tonight is another example of that.
And then how much improved was the positioning tonight on defense and, playing that good first shot defense tonight?
Well, I mean, again, I give a ton of credit to our big guys. Our big guys were in the right spot, the majority of the night. And when they're in that paint, they're difficult to score over. But I think there's something to be said. We have to continue to hammer this home. Like we got our ass kicked on the boards the other night. And tonight, those guys took it personal and made a huge change.
Tom Withers, AP. J.B. Donovan didn't have to score like you needed him to in the past. What did it mean for him to facilitate and kind of get everybody involved the way he did?
It just shows what type of person he is and what type of leader he is. He understands that in order for us to be our best, everyone's going to have to be at their best. And what he did tonight was make sure that everybody had belief and that everybody played to their strength. And when they had it going, he could have very easily decided it was time for him to take shots, but he didn't. He made sure those guys kept going so they could keep that confidence.
Jarrett's late foul, you just feel like it was a hard play?
I mean, it was a contest of a dunk. Like, if you're going to get a steal, and they kept playing hard. They kept running through passing lanes. Why would one team play hard and the other one not? There was nothing dirty about the play. It wasn't a flagrant foul. He contested a shot at the rim. It's that simple.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. Obviously, Caris did a really good job on Jalen defensively, but how important is it also on the other end of the floor for him to continue to attack Brunson?
I mean, you got to make great offensive players participate on both ends of the floor, and it just wears them down. It's difficult to do. So hopefully as the series goes on, like you'll see that starting to happen. But making elite offensive players defend. It makes the offense very hard to do because it's hard in this league, to carry a load offensively and then have to participate defensively. It's extremely difficult to do.
We've talked in the past about how Caris and Isaac are kind of different styles of defenders. Is there something about the style of defender Caris is that makes him such a good matchup against Brunson?
I think he's rangy and he's aggressive and he's kind of offbeat. So I think. He's hard to read, when he's using his hands and he's active on the ball. It's difficult to figure out where exactly he's coming from. So, I think it kind of throws your rhythm off a little bit.
What went into Danny Green being inserted into the rotation?
Just, looking for space. The way that they try to defend us, they want to do the job of really, really protecting the paint. So being able to find a way to create as much space as we could.
Let's remember, guys, question and a follow-up, please. Jason.
Jason, The Athletic, kind of along those lines, you had to make some hard lineup decisions tonight, both before and during the game. How tough is that as a coach? And do you have to have conversations with guys that you've counted on up to this point and tell them they're not part of it tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely difficult. And again, you don't always go into it with that thought, right? You kind of feel the situation, and then you have to make those decisions kind of on the fly as to what they need. But, whether it happened prior or post, like, we'll always make sure to have a conversation about it.
Jeff Shadon, JB, when you called that first timeout, I think 6:37 to go, Darius had not taken a shot. Before the game, you told us you wanted to shoot more. Did you say anything during that timeout? Because after that, he just took off.
Yeah, I mean, he and I have conversations all the time. Excuse me. He knows, what he needs to do, and it doesn't even, it's at a point now, it's not even a conversation, it's a look, and we're on the same page. So, he got it and he was ready to go.
JB, Mark Schwab, 19 News. What does a night like this for Isaac mean for him going forward?
Again, we'll put people in always what's best for the group, and everybody's got to be ready. So, this is not a long-term decision with Isaac. Isaac has done a ton for us this year, and, we always treat our guys with that respect.
Chris.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JB.
What's up, Chris?
What do you relish the most about the playoff chess match?
I mean, it's just that. It's, the game, then the counter move, right? The opportunity to rewatch the game, prepare your team, and, try to make the right next move that puts you in a position to be successful.
Daryl Ryder, 92 through the fan. JB, the second quarters where you really pulled away from them. Just what changed in that quarter? It just seemed like the physicality and intensity level you guys brought in that quarter was really dialed up. Was that something you said? Was it something someone said in a huddle during a timeout? Just what led to that switch getting?
I think it was, the understanding of what needed to be done. And, when our defense is at its best, it has the ability to tighten the screws on you and make things extremely difficult. And I think, we feed off of that. So once we saw that happen, it just started building. Excuse me, it just started building. And then it trickled over to the offensive end of the floor. And then our crowd was electric. So now we're making shots, we're getting stops, we're scrapping, we're playing the way, we're playing Cleveland Cavaliers basketball, and everybody, is buying into it and feeling good about it.
And we spent the last couple of days asking you about Evan and his youth and being more assertive. You got that tonight. Just if you touch on just the way he responded with the 13 and 13.
Yeah, I mean, that's, that's who Evan has been. Evan has been that guy for us. Whenever, like, his growth has been exponential, like, whatever the moment is where there's a lesson for him to learn, he's not one of those guys who it takes a month to learn a lesson. He has the ability to learn and grow quickly, and I think that's what makes him so unique.
I'm in the back, Nate.
Hey, JB, following up on the question about Evan, you guys out-rebounded the Knicks tonight for the first time, even, kind of in the regular season. Just how important was it for him to lead that effort?
Again, he gets what we're trying to do. And, that's been something that we've been talking about the past couple of days is, we have to be better on the boards. And he's one of those guys who can make an impact on call. He knows what you need to do. And he's, one of those unique guys who has the ability to go out and do it to help the team win.
Ryan Lewis, the Beacon Journal. When Caris is able to be such a major part of what you guys are doing, what dynamic does that add to what you can do on the offensive end?
I mean, there's just so many people you got to guard. You know what I mean? Like, you got Darius and Donovan in space. So now teams have tough decisions to make on who they're going to help off of. And Caris has the ability to play make. He has the ability to find open guys, but then what he's capable of as a scorer as well. So it just puts people in a tough spot.
Yes, number